What an exciting time to be a Chicago Bears fan. What is going on, y'all? Fast Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button and make sure to turn on post notifications by clicking the bell icon because you're not going to want to miss my videos when I release them. But with that being said, if you are a Chicago Bears fan or if you just became one after the Khalil Mack signing, welcome aboard. We do like new fans, even though bandwagons are whatever. But with that being said, like if you're new to the channel, like I just mentioned, you should know I'm the biggest Chicago Bears fan. I'm from Chicago. Got to support the hometown team. You know what it is. So with that being said, talking about the Bears and how good they can potentially be this coming season with their newest addition, Khalil freaking Mack. I made a video about his addition to the team. You can go check my recents out for my full analysis on that. This video, not just going to be about him, but the team overall and where I see them, because I did release my season prediction for their win-loss record, which you can also find in my videos. And I kind of might want to amend that. And by amend, I mean I think I have a chance, an opportunity to change it now that we have a player of a Khalil Mack, that stature, a superstar, if you will. So I think it makes sense to go back and kind of look at the win-loss record and kind of fix it a little bit, and then also talk about where I see this team in terms of their potential this season, where I see them record-wise, which I'll get into, and how good they can potentially be, and if they are even Super Bowl contenders now with one Khalil Mack. So with that being said, I'm going to get into all of that. Let's get started. So we will start with the win-loss record. So in my previous video, I had the Bears officially going 8-8 this season, okay? I had them going 8-8, and I'm going to amend that. And I'm going to change it now, and I am upgrading the Bears, surprise, surprise, after their addition of Khalil Mack. Again, if you want to go check out my reaction, go ahead and check that video. But I'm going to tell you guys exactly where I am going to upgrade them. So let's kind of quickly go through the schedule and tell you what I see, okay? So the first game at Green Bay, I said that was a loss. I still think that's a loss at Lambeau Field. Opening night, Aaron Rodgers back. It's going to be a big, hoopla, if you will. Khalil Mack's first game. He might need a little bit of time to get acclimated to the team. So I'm going to give that one to the Packers. Game 2, at home versus Seattle Seahawks. That's a dub. For the Bears, Seahawks are weak. They're not the same Legion of Boom. They're actually not even the Legion of Boom anymore. Too many moving parts out of that team. They got nobody besides Russell Wilson. And if it wasn't for Russell Wilson, we'd be talking about them as one of the worst teams in the NFL. Dub for the Bears. Game 3 against the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. I had this one as a loss because I thought Arizona was a good home team and Bears going on the road. This could potentially be an L, but no, I will take this as a W for the Bears. Week 4 against Tampa Bay. The Bucs are awful. I'm going to take this one as a dub for the Bears. So 3-1 going into week 5, which is the bye week. So follow me here. Week 5 is the bye week. Week 6 at Miami. So at the Miami Dolphins, one of the worst teams in the NFL, clearly in the rebuilding stage. Even though this is on the road, I am taking this as a W for the Bears. So 4-1 now, heading into week 7. And week 7, we get that showdown with the New England Patriots, okay? So this one, I had an L, and I'm going to keep it as an L. A lot of people have been saying this could be a surprise win for the Bears because they're going to be at home against New England, and they could potentially upset them. And I'm not saying they couldn't. It could certainly be a possibility. But I'm just not going to go there. I know the Patriots are a lot weaker this year, but Julian Edelman will be back by then. Tom Brady will be catching a stride. It'll be midseason. I'm just going to say the Patriots win that game. So week 8, we got the New York Jets. The Jets, again, are starting Sam Darnold, a rookie quarterback, so they are, of course, going to be rebuilding as well. And their roster is just not very good. That's a W for the Bears. Week 9 at Buffalo. This is also a W for the Bears. Josh Allen might be starting at this point, or he probably will be starting. And the Bills also have one of the worst rosters. So the Bears' season schedule, very favorable in the first half. Okay, if you follow me along here. Week 10 at Detroit, not at Detroit, at Chicago versus Detroit. I'm going to say this is a W as well. I think the Lions are the worst team in our division, so I think we can beat them at home, okay? Let's get into week 11 at home versus the Vikings and the Bears. At this point, I have them winning 3 straight, and yes, I have them beating the Minnesota Vikings at home. The Bears play well against the Vikings when they are at home at Soldier Field, so I'm going to have them take that as a win. Week 12 at Detroit, I think that is a loss. Again, not that to say the Lions are better, but these division games tend to be very tricky, and division teams know you better than anybody else. So I'm just going to give one of these division games to the other team. So I'm going to give it to the Lions. Week 13 at the New York Giants. I think the Giants are going to be one of the sleeper teams this season. So at home at the New York Giants in MetLife Stadium, with Saquon Barkley potentially being the Rookie of the Year late in the season, I think this is going to go to the Giants. Week 14 against the Rams. The Rams, to me, have the best roster in the entire NFL, bar none. I'm telling you, better than the Eagles, better than the Vikings, better than the Steelers. They have the best roster top to bottom. This is an L for the Bears, even though it's at home. Week 15 at home versus Green Bay. Bears get their revenge, get the dub. Week 16 at San Francisco, one of my sleeper teams. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have a big year. Watch out for him. This is going to be an L. And then Week 17 at Minnesota. Who knows what's going to happen at this point with the playoff seedings and whatnot, but I'm just going to say that's an L because I don't see us sweeping the Vikings. So there you have it, folks, projecting their win-loss record, and that comes out to 9-7. I could potentially see them going 10-6. One of those, obviously, losses could turn into wins. Like I said, they could beat the Giants. They could beat, the Lions. They could sweep the Lions. So definitely see that happening. But I am fairly confident now that I think they will finish the season with a better than 500 record, looking at the fact that we have one of the most balanced rosters in the entire NFL now, because I expect him to make a leap on offense with new head coach Matt Nagy and his offensive prowess, and we have a solid defense that's going to go from good to great, okay, with Khalil Mack. So a very balanced roster for the Bears. I expect them to make that leap like the Rams did, like the Eagles did with their second-year quarterback, and become one of the better teams in the NFL. Now the question also does become, are they actual contenders or just a solid playoff team? And the way I look at it, you take a look at the roster, and I just mentioned the fact that they're very balanced. There's a lot of A-level players on this Bears roster, folks. I mean, I don't think we give GM Ryan Pace enough credit. Well, some of these players he didn't draft or he picked, but still, Bears roster, very solid. If you take a look at the A-level players on this roster, Khalil Mack, certainly an A-level player. Roquan Smith, yes, I believe he's going to be an A-level player in this league. Go read up what all the experts say. They love Roquan Smith, best player out of college this past season. Jordan Howard, Jordan Howard, a lot of people are down on him in fantasy, but I still think a guy who's showing a lot of promise, 2,000-yard rushing seasons, I think he's an A-level player. Allen Robinson, who we got from the Jacksonville Jaguars, I know he's coming off an ACL injury. I think he can be an A-level player. Kyle Long, obviously our offensive lineman. I know he's dealt with some injuries, but he's an A-level player. Akeem Hicks, he's shown a lot of production lately. He's that type. Danny Trevathan as well. And Leonard Floyd, I know he's hurt all the time, but he certainly has that A-level talent. So you got those type of players. And like I've said, you take a top 5 defense and a top 5 offense, which is what I could project the Bears to be. It's very possible. I know a lot of people might be scoffing at that, but take a look at the fact that you go from the 30th best offense to a coach who had the 5th best offense with the Chiefs last year. They were the 5th best offense in the NFL. So you can make that leap with Matt Nagy, who knows what he's doing on offense, unlike John Fox, who coached like he was in the 1980s. And you take a look at the Bears defense, which was top 10 in points allowed, and you add Khalil Mack, you add Roquan Smith, you're bringing back your defense coordinator Vic Fangio, and you're telling me they can't improve from top 10 to top 5? I certainly think that's plausible. So then you take a look at the other teams in the entire conference, right? So the tiers, okay? I'm going to use tiers here instead of just saying who's flat out better or who's not. The tier I have the Bears in the NFC, which is very stacked. If they were in the AFC, it'd be a different story. In the NFC, I have them in tier 2. So in tier 1, the absolute cream of the crop, the Vikings, Eagles, the Saints, and the Rams, okay? Again, no particular order, just those 4 teams to me are head and shoulders above the rest of the conference. And then in that tier 2, I have the Packers, I have the Falcons, I have the 49ers. Don't sleep on them, folks. And this is where I'm putting the Bears. The Bears were originally to me in tier 3, but I'm leapfrogging them to tier 2 with the addition of Khalil Mack and the leap that I expect them to make now. And in tier 3, we've got the Cowboys, Seahawks, Panthers, Giants. Tier 4, Bucks, Lions, Cardinals, Redskins, the basement of the conference. So overall, what's my answer is how good the Bears can be with Khalil Mack. I think they are certainly a playoff caliber team with the potential to make that quantum leap to a Super Bowl contender. Do I see it happening this season? If I had to bet my money on it, I would say no, but I can certainly see it happening. I just wouldn't bet my money on it because, like I said, the NFC is stacked. If it was the AFC, I'd bet my money on it, okay? The AFC is not as stacked as the NFC, but that type of leap that the Eagles made, the Rams made, you take a look at all of the comparisons. You take a look at, Doug Peterson, Sean McVay, Matt Nagy, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, Mitch Trubisky. You take a look at all the new weapons they would add. The Bears got new weapons this season on both sides of the ball. So you take all of that into account, and it just makes sense to project that sort of a leap for the Bears. So that is where I see him. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you guys agree with me or disagree with me. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please make sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.